Hey everyone, so we have one more day left before the election. Um, I want everybody to know that no matter what happens after tomorrow's election results roll in, let's all just keep our sanity about us and trust in the process. There's been a lot of election reform put into place for this election, so let's trust it. If the results are very close, we may not know right away. We may not know for maybe a couple weeks. So just keep that in mind. Let's keep our wits about ourselves and, hope for the best, and get out and vote. So if you are on the fence, this is a very important election. You need to have your voice be heard. I can't stress that enough. You don't want to be on, the day after the election wishing you would have gotten in to vote. Your employer has to give you time off to vote. If you get in the election line before election polls close, even if it's 5 minutes before, stay in line, because once you're in line, they have to let you vote. If you get out of line, after the polls close, then they won't let you vote. So you can't get back in line. So just stay, get your vote in, and let's try not to worry about the after effects. I also want to remind you that it's very important to obviously vote for a president, but you also need to look down ballot. So you're going to look at your senators, you're going to look at your House representatives, you're going to look at your state senators and your state representatives for your area. You definitely want to look at city council, look at your school board members. So if the election goes in a certain way, you want to make sure that you have voted for people in your local elections that align with your values. So make sure to look at that. I myself have really researched everybody that I'll be voting for. So definitely do the homework tonight. If you're going to vote tomorrow, or do it before you go into the polls, really research that. Make sure they align with you. Make sure you get out and vote. Don't sit this one out. And, no matter what happens, win or lose, I had a great time campaigning. And I talked to a lot of great people at the doors, and it's great to get out in the community and to meet people and hear their concerns. Again, if you're not sure about what I stand for, I am running for Centennial School Board in Minnesota. And that's in Anoka County. Covers Circle Pines, parts of Blaine, Lino Lakes, as well as Centerville and Lexington. So those are all the areas that are within my school district. I don't want book bans. So if we get a Trump presidency and we end up with Project 2025, you're going to want to make sure that the people on your school boards won't put forth book bans. So I will fight against those. The other thing is, I really want to tackle our bullying problems we have in Centennial, because if we can lower our bullying, we can also lower the chances of gun violence in our schools. And we haven't had an incident. I don't want us to have an incident. So I think we really should be tackling that. And it would also help our kids feel safer in our schools. So that's a big issue for me. Also, I want to make sure that our kids are taught accurate history and science. So what that means to me, as far as history goes, we're not going to just ignore the ugly parts of our history. We're going to cover those. We're going to cover where the United States went wrong. It's not all just about glory. Of course, we can celebrate the good parts too, but we need to show our kids where our country came from, how it was built, the mistakes we've made, so that we don't repeat them. The other thing with science, science should be evidence-based. That's the whole point of a scientific method, is to make sure that there's evidence to back up a claim. And to also test out a theory, right? So that's how science should be. I don't want that muddled with anything regarding, people who don't believe in evolution, that kind of thing. And wanting to do creationism in the classroom, that's not something I'm on board with, and I will never be on board with that as a engineer, so who took a lot of science and math classes. So I really want our science classes to be accurate. So if that sounds good to you, please consider voting for me, Laura Gannon, for Centennial School District, ISD 12, Minnesota. And make sure you get out and vote. I will also be voting for Sue Lenzer. I think she's awesome. So, so she's also on the ballot. So I'll be voting for her. I'll be leaving that third choice blank because the other candidates are aligned with the Minnesota Parents Alliance, and they include Moms for Liberty in their resources, which are people who book ban, want creationism in the classroom, want school vouchers instead of having public education. So that will really harm our kids' education. So, yeah, get out there and vote. It's important. And I'll see you all later. Bye.